Hello, and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the podcast where we break down every damn dirty minute of the Planet of the Apes movie. I'm your host, Sean, and joining me as always is my co-host, Todd. What's up, Todd?
Not a lot.
All right, we're going to start minute 40 with the janitor saying that the humanoids are all tame until they take a chunk out of you, and ends with Dr. Zero saying she's glad Dr. Zaius could come. And as of minute 40, we've got 2 living humans, 2 dead humans, the shrewdness of apes, and a gaggle of humanoids. Oh, and also I figured out, I was looking at something earlier this week, and so we've got a shrewdness of apes, a name for a group of apes. Mm-hmm. My coolest one that I just found is a fever of stingrays.
Wait, is this Planet of the Stingrays?
Oh, that would be awesome. To see these weird-looking faces coming at you all white and then just flapping away.
I don't even know what to say to that, Sean. I don't know if you're living some bizarre fantasy in your head about that. But if you watch the movie The Abyss, you might get a little bit of a taste of that.
There you go. All right, so Jeff, hey, what's up? We got Jeff joining us today again.
Hey, guys. Thank you. I'm sorry to talk over you there. It's Friday, and I'm back.
Happy
Yay!
Friday. And, I'm gonna take the moment, since Jeff acknowledged it, to say thank you for everybody for bearing with us again. When we recorded this, it started with horrific issues of the system essentially crashing on us, not allowing us to do it. Our favorite listener in the world, who I'm going to name Ethel, who took our phone call and said, hello. We appreciate you guys sticking with us through all this. It was trying for us. We know that it sounds a little tinty today. We're hoping that everything can be worked out by next week, and we'll be back to giving you the quality product you deserve. So, again, thank you for being patient with us.
Todd, I don't know what you're talking about. I sound really good.
As Jeff records us from his studio with a mic. How much did that mic cost, Jeff?
Oh, it was a lot.
And it sounds like a lot. All right, so getting to apes, I'm going to start with Sean's jumping ahead into the future and acknowledge the dude behind Taylor who's building a suit out of straw. Was he wanting to go live in the Wizard of Oz and become the Scarecrow? What the hell's he doing?
Yeah. Maybe that's a tale that's been passed down through time.
Well, all I know is that straw's meant for his poop, so he's bathing in the toilet.
It's poop, bed, and clothing. It's 3 things in one.
Ooh, that's true. But, okay, so let's go back to Native Hoochie can't even have dirt on her, and he's bathing in his poop. So the men can be nasty as hell, but the women, man, they're rocking.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be, right?
I guess so. So we hear that Taylor keeps pretending he can talk. So once again, we had Zero before asking, can you speak? He's pretending he can talk. So I don't know what that's saying. Is it saying 100% that they don't talk, that no one does, that no one's ever pretended before? And if so, going back to your point, why is she even asking them if he can speak? It seems like a little bit of a double talk moment.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was wondering in earlier minutes why he wasn't screaming at them while he was laying there on the table strapped down and they're doing the probe up the nose or whatever. So now they told me why. Something's gone wrong with his neck. So they hit his vocal cord somehow when they shot him.
Maybe so.
It was it was a very very accurate shot to miss all the vital arteries and everything. But, just ting on the vocal cord and he's out.
Ting up the larynx or whatever.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
And maybe it's that it didn't even really pierce the skin since they were playing paintball. It just bruised his vocal cords.
This is also right around the time that Vinny, we'll call him Vinny now, since you said he... where I almost
hey, I'm cleaning here.
Yeah, exactly. I almost jumped in the AV time machine yesterday, but this is when he goes, hey, human see, human do.
Oh, and all you could hear were the trumpets in the background going, wah, wah.
I liked it though.
Followed by the crickets.
Yes.
It is funny, and the movie has a really great undercurrent of humor in it that you'll see as you go along. There are references to even Monkey See, Monkey Do comes up later, and they're very aware of what they're trying to say. almost to their detriment at points, but at the same time, it doesn't take it so seriously that it can't have a little fun with it. And I appreciate that, but his delivery of it does have that. Oh my God! You almost imagine the camera's going to pan around and there's a monkey sitting with a snare drum right in front of him, and the cinema goes.
The lowest, fattest one, boom, boom,
Yeah.
and then a flip off to this guy.
So we also get Zira calling Taylor Bright Eyes. So now he has been in this movie to this point. He has 3 official names and 1 official name. He has Skipper, Taylor, Bright Eyes, and Asshole. I mean, the guy is the biggest jerk, and no one can figure out what his name is.
I'm wondering where they came up with the name Bright Eyes. I mean, is everybody else Dull Eyes? I mean, we have no other names for anybody else at this point, so I don't know how the naming system works.
I'm assuming it's because he has blue eyes. Has the blue-eyed gene been eradicated through this species of human?
That's true. I don't know. Blue eyes recessive, or I don't know.
I have them, and I don't know how I got them or why I got them. So who knows?
And I noticed she starts out referring to him as bright-eyed.
Eyed, really?
I believe so. I mean, I'm sure your listeners will double check and be like, no, he didn't know what he was talking about. But anyway, but then in the same minute, she refers to me in bright eyes. Now again, these are 44-year-old ears that I've got, so I may be off a little bit. But I backed it up and listened to it a couple times, and I could swear she said bright-eyed, and then she starts referring to him as bright eyes. I mean, again, I don't know how much that helps, but I did notice that.
Well, and it's funny you mentioned having the 44-year-old ears. The thing that because I got 50-year-old ones, I'll say that while listening to this, it hits me as odd that they didn't do a little more dialogue replacement, ADR, because you can't see their lips. How easy would it be just to re-record a very clear delivery of every line? Because there are times where I'm kind of like, what? And you have to think it's because they couldn't really truly enunciate past the makeup sometimes.
Yeah. Huh.
So I'm a little shocked that they just took what was practical.
I did look it up. Blue eyes are recessive, so maybe there are a lot of blue-eyed genes.
Mm.
And I went back and looked at it with the subtitles on, and she does say bright eyes both times.
Oh, darn it. I guess I owe Todd $100,000. I'm sorry, Todd.
Oh, I'm not. Damn. That's also whoever did the captions. It's not to say she didn't say "eyed," so we'll never know unless we can get. I think it's Kim Hunter who plays the role. Unless we can get her there to answer it for us.
Right. I think Sean's right. I probably misheard it.
Well, that's quite all right. We'll allow you to mishear something.
Woohoo!
So, and all of a sudden my notes decided to vanish from my screen. So, was I mistaken? Is what did you say, Vinny? Is his real name Julius? Didn't I hear something like that?
Oh, yeah, I think it is Julius, yeah.
But I like Vinny better. I'm sticking with Vinny. Vinny doesn't apparently know what a broom handle will do to the jewels. Because, damn, we've got the one bright-eyed guy that's trying to talk, and you hit him right square in the balls. God.
Oh, no, I disagree. I think he knows exactly what to do because he escalated that really quickly. He goes, try that again, and I'll break your arm. I mean, he's not playing around.
Mm-hmm.
He's going for the nuts, and he's ready to break arms.
Well, once again, I guess he grew up on the wrong side of New York. He grew up in the tough, mean streets.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to throw things off in the timeline, but one of my biggest notes I have on here was I did notice. So, leading up to the punishing of Bright Eyes' balls, he tries to get the doctor to come to the cage, and I could swear I see a Post-it note in her hand, and I don't know when Post-it notes came out.
Oh yeah,
she has a little note.
I don't know either, but yeah, she's writing something down.
So they've got fire hoses, rifles, and Post-it notes. So it's yeah.
Oh my.
Did they have the oh shit? What was the stuff that Mike Nesmith's mother created? The oh my god, the stuff you put on paper when you want to whiteout. Did they have whiteout too? Because that seems like the next logical leap.
Yeah.
Well, in that moment, we talked about good dialogue earlier. So the film has had, Jeff, the first 30 minutes were by and large a silent film outside of hearing the astronauts bitch each other. It really shows us everything we need to see instead of tells us what's going on. We get to the roundup of the humans. Once again, it's all action. In this moment, though, it to me begins to break the absolute worst sin you can in film, which is when he says he seems to want something.
Mm-hmm.
People don't usually talk like that. People don't, if someone's wanting something, they'll go, doctor, and they'll just point and they'll let that person react. And then you show the thing of him reaching for something that as an audience, we know he wants something. Then you can pause and say it. But the dialogue in the scene continuously seems to be leading what we're supposed to understand about what's going on in the scene. It kind of wears me out, kind of makes me think it's a little sloppy. I try not to do that too much, to juxtapose the ideas of what cinema is supposed to be on something that was created almost 40 years ago. But the scene's a little heavy-handed in that way.
I agree.
He seems to want something. You mean he's gesturing as he come to me? Wow, really? He might want something? Shock.
Yeah. It's one of the first times where I really, really felt like, ooh, somebody just slapped a scene together and didn't think through. It's a great moment. It's a moment that has to be there. It establishes so much. It lets us know he's in a cage. He's the animal. He's treated as such, but it's just sloppy.
Yeah.
And something that I'm just now noticing as I'm looking at a still shot of everything. Okay, so we as humans all have different hairstyles. Some people shave their head. Some people have long hair, short hair. Every damn ape in here had the exact same hairstyle, just comb back.
Yeah, and if I'd meant to mention this in a past minute, they're using some really good conditioner on the Planet of the Apes because they have very shiny black hair.
Nice and shiny.
Yeah, so along with Post-it notes, rifles, cameras, and whiteout, they have top-of-the-line conditioners.
Dang,
I love it.
Purell. Plugs into Purell. Thank you very much for all your sponsorship.
So did anybody have their Dr. Zaius from The Simpsons moment when he showed up? Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius.
Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius, of course. Are you kidding me?
And, he immediately looks suspicious, and he's called Your Excellency. So not only is he Dr. Zaius, we may have Dr. Zero, but he's Dr. Zaius, and he's Your Excellency. So is it just the implication now that we're going to say an orangutan is something more than anyone else?
Higher elevated?
Yes.
Yeah, well, they were talking about the quota system, so we know that there's some sort of caste system into this variety.
And from a design standpoint, one thing that strikes me, we've seen the gorillas are in kind of a dark purple. Chimpanzees are green, orangutans are orange. So immediately, whoever, and I'm looking for the note of who the costume design was, and I'll try to find that while you guys comment. But what a simple, elegant way to simply differentiate both your system, your hierarchical system. What a great way to differentiate when you just see someone, what they are and who they are. The simple idea of assigning a color to that species.
The costume designer was Morton Hack.
Yep. I swear to God, the moment that you said that, I just found it too. But yes, Morton Hack. But, great job, though, because another thing those costumes do is we don't have to see hairy-armed Brutus Doctor anymore wearing the hair sleeve.
The sleeveless, guns out, guns out outfit, yeah.
Which I'm surprised that Vinny isn't walking around like that. He seems like he would definitely be rolling up the sleeves.
Oh, he'd be shirtless. Are you kidding me?
If you're an ape and you get a tattoo, does the hair grow back and cover it? What does that say on there, mother?
One thing I noticed, because this kind of ties back to what you were talking about earlier, is that, and I don't remember Dr. Zaius, I think, when he approaches the door to go in to the cage, he almost opens it. And I know Sean's got his nifty turn, his ability to review it. But so somebody was there to be looking at continuity. Obviously, it wasn't the same person that was writing the script, but there was that attention to detail as far as